Good morning, Santa Clarita. Good morning and welcome in. Happy Friday. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVI Charter Schools Eye on the Valley. I am Matt Watson. It is good to have you. Happy Friday indeed. How you all doing? It's been another beautiful week in the Valley. A little rough Labor Day weekend. Man, did it get warm out there, but it's cooled off a little bit now. You can feel the fall creeping in this morning. It's a nice, crisp, cool morning. It's going to warm up a little bit later on today, but that smoke. I was driving in and you look up at the sun and it's almost a tomato red this morning. It's kind of eerie, and it seems like so much of our state is just blanketed in smoke. We've got some fires smoldering and burning pretty heavy in different locations, and it's just blanketed the valley with smoke for the last several days. It's a little bit difficult to breathe out there. Air quality is not great, and I know what a healthy community we are. Folks, get out, do their exercise. Some of you are probably out jogging right now. Do be careful. You want to make sure that you take care of those lungs. Be safe out there. We have got a terrific show on Eye on the Valley today. In just a moment, we're going to be talking to Gina Bogna. She is COC's Dean of the School of Personal and Professional Learning. They've got some incredible programs at the School of Personal and Professional Learning that are going to help you get ahead in your career, or maybe make a change in careers. Maybe you're thinking about shifting things up a little bit. Well, Gina's going to be talking about some of those programs that can help you shift gears, and many of them are completely free to folks in our community. A little bit later on in the show, we'll have artist Gabby Ismail. Gabby draws, she paints, she does graphic design, she's a published illustrator, she designs t-shirts and other designs for a skateboard company, and she's done all this before she even started high school. But first, are you just waking up, just getting your day started? Well, I do want to remind you today is September 11th. Yes, it is 9/11. 19 years ago today, America suffered the deadliest terrorist attack in history. Not the deadliest terrorist attack in our country's history, in world history. Still remember it. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But it is a very special show today for a lot of reasons. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got my first guest on the line, Gina Bogna. She is, like I said, she's the Dean of the School of Personal and Professional Learning at College of the Canyons. Gina and her family are longtime residents of the Santa Clarita Valley. She worked in higher education. She has worked in higher education for over 2 decades. During her tenure at COC, she's worked in multiple capacities within the community college system, including student advising, Director of Community and Continuing Education, Director of Internships and Career Services, the Dean of Career Services and Special Programs, and her current role as the Dean of the School of Personal and Professional Learning. Early in her career, Gina recognized her passion for career education and became an advocate for career exploration and programs that lead to employment. Under her leadership, the College of the Canyons Internship Program has been recognized by the California Internship and Work Experience Association as the Program of the Year 3 times. Her favorite hobby is playing with the Magnificent Seven. No, not Yul Brynner and Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson and their buddies. She's talking about the Magnificent Seven that are her 7 grandchildren. She also enjoys spending time with her husband of 37 years, Glenn. Gina's a community college champion who graduated from COC herself before earning her BS in organizational management from the University of Laverne, and her master's in administration from Cal State Bakersfield. Gina, welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Thank you, Matt. I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here.
We're glad to have you back. We had you on a couple months back. I think it was as we were starting to swing into the summer. Gina, before we get to these exciting programs, I know the fall semester has started up over at COC. How's everything going? You guys just got started, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. How are classes going?
Well, we're doing well. We're doing far better than spring when the pandemic hit, and we're just, we've gotten our sea legs in terms of moving entirely online in this remote learning environment. And so there was a learning curve for the students and the faculty that hadn't already been trained in that capacity, but we're doing it.
Sure, yeah. We all had to shift into kind of that emergency mode overnight, but with the summer and a little bit more experience under our belts, like you said, we're going from survive to thrive. So I'm glad to hear things are going well. Now, there are a select few classes that are meeting on campus. Am I correct?
There are. They're called they're the essential infrastructure classes, and that's in our credit program. That's really not in our School of Professional Learning.
Right.
But those classes, would really be like the welding and the auto tech and some of the, like biology classes that have labs that it's nearly impossible to do online.
Yeah, it's tough to do welding from the computer. It really is.
There you go.
So you're absolutely right, and you differentiated between the credit programs and the School of Personal and Professional Learning. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But as you guys started up this semester, you talk about low blows. On the first day of classes, I heard you guys lost power over at COC?
Yes, we did. As if life isn't stressful enough for the world, we had power outages and, when students were getting online for the first time and checking in with their faculty, everything went down. So, wow. But doesn't kill you, makes you better. So
there you go. I got to tell you, Southern California Edison, that's just dirty pool. That's not nice. First day of school and you do them like that. That is terrible. Alrighty. So I mentioned earlier the School of Personal and Professional Learning y'all offer free classes to the community. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
You bet. We offer a variety of classes, and they are entirely free. It's not some are free. All of them are free. So that's really exciting for us to be able to present that to our community.
Wow.
We have classes in English as a second language. We have computer classes, really kind of basic computer classes. We have 20 different career skill building classes. We offer the GED. We offer some short-term vocational programs like you mentioned earlier. We have classes that are geared towards older adults in health and fitness and healthy aging. We offer Spanish for healthcare workers.
Oh, wow.
CBEST prep. I mean, the list goes on.
Wow, that's great. So you've got everything from folks who are looking to kind of get into the job market maybe for the first time or really step into a professional area, to folks that are looking to improve themselves in a career maybe that they've been in for a couple of decades now. You guys have got all kinds of programs. That is fantastic. And these are available for everyone in our community? Is this...
You have to be 18 to participate
18?
in the non-credit programs or have graduated high school. So if you're under 18, you can participate if you've graduated high school.
Okay.
But otherwise, we encourage everybody. So we're really trying to target even the folks who would not traditionally go to school, either because the cost is a barrier or because they don't want the commitment of doing a 16-week-long semester. Many of our courses are focused on very short term, like you can complete a class in 8 hours or 12 hours, and really kind of get like a bite-sized experience to see if this is for you, and maybe even give you the confidence to be successful to transition into a credit course that you would, one that is transcripted or, can expand your opportunities.
That's an interesting point. I had my son he's a freshman in college right now, and he's trying to figure that out online. But my daughter, when she graduated high school, she was kind of done with school, and she didn't want to talk about COC or university or anything. But that's a great way to look at it. Give it a shot, take a couple of 8-hour courses, and see if continuing your education is the thing for you. And if not, you can in just a few short hours, a couple of days, you can get a certificate in different areas that just makes you more competitive as a job candidate, right?
You bet. For an example, we have a personal trainer program that over the course of, this is a little bit more, there's a 36-hour course and then two 16-hour and a 12-hour course, principles of coaching, a personal trainer certificate, and then one is the CPR for first aid. That's really required. And you can take these courses independently, or you can take all three. You don't have to do all three and complete the personal trainer certificate. Many of anybody who's in education, they have to complete CPR classes. Well, this is free, and it's over 16 hours, and in many places you still have to sit for your pay for your certificate. I believe it's $35. That's issued by the state or the American Red Cross, but the actual cost of the class itself is free. I like to refer to these classes as the best kept secret in Santa Clarita, because many people don't even know about this.
Right, and that's why we've got you on today. More people need to know about it, because you hear about folks who are maybe bartenders or waiters, folks in other industries that are not able to work right now, or maybe that industry's working but it's scaled back and they need to make a career change to make ends meet. But to be able to come in and get your personal trainer certificate and do some training, I know a lot of folks are doing training online, things like that. What a great opportunity and the perfect time for it. We got to get the word out about these programs.
Yeah, we started a new program over the summer, and we'll continue it in fall. It's called an instructional aid training. So it's when you sit through the K-12 system, or even K-14, the community college, when a student has an instructional aid, there really is no other training program. We partnered with one of the school districts out here to work with their human resources to develop the curriculum to help train people to be an instructional aid and sit with children and help teachers with students who have these instructional aids. And it's the only kind, certainly in Santa Clarita, and I would venture to say even in Southern California. And it's a 30-hour-long program. It's 2 weekends in a row, 3 weekends in a row that are 8 hours a pop, and it's all online. And at the end of the day, you could be an instructional aid in any K-12 classroom. So that's another short example of a short-term vocational training that you can quickly get some skills and be qualified to start working, and there's a huge need for this.
Yes, there is. We're always looking for instructional aides at SCVI and our other iLead campuses, and I think you're right. I've been in education for 25 years. I've never heard of a formal preparation program like this for instructional aides, and a lot of those instructional aides end up using those positions as a pipeline into full-time teaching careers.
That's right. It kind of gets their foot in the door, a bit of career exploration, so to speak, to see if this is, without making a huge commitment to your education and going down the road of a bachelor's degree, they can decide after, maybe a year of experience in this area, is this really what I want to do? And then they can, make some decisions, an informed decision to continue their education or not, or to go down a different road.
You make a great point. I know I have known more than a few teachers who have gone to school 4, 5, 6 years, gotten their credential, gone into the classroom, and after 6 months realized this is not the career for me, and now they've got to go back to school and figure out what to do. But if you can get through, what did you say, 36-hour program, and then step right into the classroom, start supporting a teacher to see if this is something that you really take to or not, what a great idea. Wow. Yeah,
and we're even doing this in this online environment and working with the school districts that, since schools are online, that the instruction that was originally developed, the curriculum was developed for face-to-face working with students in a classroom, will now be modified to help instructional aides work with students and faculty in an online environment. So constantly, shifting and being flexible to do what's relevant.
Yeah, and with the shift, the decision that came down, I think it was a week or two ago, that that said that special education services are just as essential as medical services. Some of those instructional aides are going to be heading back on campus before even their full-time teaching counterparts to help provide some of those special education services along with those special educators. Yeah. So, yeah, this is the perfect time to get into a program like that. And like I said, if that's a career that you're considering, what a great way to get your feet wet, see if you like it, and if you do, continue forward, and you've already got a leg up on at least 90% of the candidates out there. That is great. So, Gina, these classes don't count towards my AA, correct? You said they're kind of non-credited. They don't go on my credential, but you provide completion certificates and things like that. But much more importantly, you're providing the skills, the knowledge, the background and understanding that you can develop and apply today to get that job, and then tomorrow to get ahead and succeed, right? So what kind of classes are you offering?
So this fall, we sent out a publication to 95,000 homes here in Santa Clarita. It was beautiful blue brochure and with free classes across the top. So we actually have it online as well, a little flip book. But we have some basic computer applications and web technology classes being offered. Even though the semester started in August, we actually have some classes that will begin in October as well. Like I said, these are short-term classes. We have some classes offered for basic English essentials, not just English as a second language, but many students need to augment their skill sets before getting into college-level English, and most of your social science classes are in essay form. Your tests will be, and even your homework will be in essay form. So just learning reminding you how to construct an essay and coherent sentences. We have some basic math classes. We have immigrant education. We have classes for students to become American citizens, and so
great.
That's nice to have, and that's free and good for people who are looking to go down that road. Yeah, we have basic math classes, and we even encourage parents who are staying home with their students and helping them do their homework online. We're talking about little mini classes that they can drop in and do as few as 3 hours or 2 hours and exit at any time. And anytime throughout the semester, once they register, they can go in and out, and we have classes, whole numbers on fractions and mixed numbers, decimals, percentages. Sometimes people just need to get a reminder like, oh yeah, that's how you do that, that computation. Graphs and lines, algebraic expressions. What are some of the other items that we're offering this semester? Let me think. I love our career skills classes on time management and business writing. We have critical thinking and problem solving. These are all 8-hour classes, and they're usually meet over, you have about 2 weeks to complete them. They're instructor prompted and led, but it's 100% online, so you're not necessarily committed to a certain day or time of the week, just a window of time. Wow. And those are the classes that we really encourage people who are already in the business world and that want to augment their skill sets and just bring an added value to what they're already doing. So to kind of better understand their own presence in the workplace and how they can manage themselves. We have one even called personality styles and workplace communications and strategies. And then I love this other area that we offer. It's called college skills, and it's really not just for college students. It's for college and beyond, particularly one on that is for money management for college and beyond. It's to help students manage a checking account, understanding what it is to garner credit. And these things are not taught in high school. They're really not taught anywhere. They're life skills that perhaps were taught in the home at one time, but maybe aren't being taught at this point, and parents and students don't have the opportunity to do that. But it's to help equip students on how to apply for financial aid, but not just for students. There are people who aren't in college, but they still need to learn how to manage a bank account, the difference between an IRA and just a regular savings account, and that's just being a responsible to yourself,
right,
and positioning yourself for success.
Right. I love that you've got the college skills classes. A lot of kids, when their college campuses around the country shut down for this semester and said we're going virtual, a lot of kids said, you know what, if I'm staying home, I'm going to take a gap year. What a perfect time to enroll in the class that's going to help you succeed when you do go back on campus next semester, next school year. You've got construction-related classes, including land surveying. I love that you've got the citizenship classes. Some of these things are so important. So it's not just somebody who finds themselves out of work and needs to make a career change. You've got something for everybody. It is Friday, and I'm talking with Gina Bogna, COC's Dean of the School of Personal and Professional Learning. We will come right back. We need to take a couple of commercials, but I want to find out a little bit more about these completely free programs to folks in our community that Gina and her team are developing, and how you can get enrolled. You are listening to SCVI Charter Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
If your home or business has been damaged in a natural disaster, fire, earthquake, or wind damage, turn to the experts who will fight for you, Maximum Insurance Recovery. For over 15 years, their insurance professionals have managed and negotiated every disaster claim, resulting in maximum recovery. Let them help you with your claim. Call 818-300-5777 or go online to maxinsurancerecovery.com. That's maxinsurancerecovery.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS, or call 800-973-3927 and use the promo code KHTS. That's 800-973-3927 or mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS.
Santa Clarita Valley residents now have greater access to the excellent physicians and high-quality medical services for which Providence Holy Cross is known. Providence Holy Cross Health Center in Santa Clarita features state-of-the-art cancer and imaging technologies, as well as board-certified physicians in a variety of medical specialties. Quality and compassion from a healthcare provider you can depend on. For more information, call 1-888-HEALING or visit us at providence.org.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. Welcome back. That was a really quick break, just enough time to get a sip of coffee in me. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson on SCVI Charter Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm talking this morning with Gina Bogna, COC's Dean of the School of Personal and Professional Learning. So, Gina, we're talking about these amazing classes that you're offering. You've really got something for everyone. If you're looking forward to taking that citizenship test or take some ESL classes, a GED class, if you're looking to improve your skills in the area of business writing. Loved hearing about your business writing class. There are a lot of folks that weren't necessarily as strong in the English language arts in school, and they go into accounting or the entertainment industry. Communication has become more important now than ever. Verbal communication and written communication. People find themselves, needing to take a course that helps them step up their game, right?
Yes, and so many other areas. We've referred to them, and you may have heard the term soft skills. And that's what really this whole area of the career skills program that we offer, these 8-hour classes entirely free. And right now, they're 100% online at your own pace. Just really things like self-awareness. There's one class called resilience.
Oh, wow.
And empathy. You know, we've partnered, and I've worked closely with the Valley Industry Association and employers in the Santa Clarita for over a decade. And one of the number one things we hear from employers is, you know, we can teach, you know, these people coming into the workforce how to do whatever it is that they're doing, whatever the task is, but we can't teach those intrinsic traits that, you know, how to be adaptable, how to critical thinking, and about social diversity and self-awareness. So we've developed these classes in direct response to that need, in really not just training this current generation, but the next generation of, you know, our hope is for these younger folks coming out of high school to be taking these very early on, or perhaps you're already working and maybe you need to develop those soft skills a little bit. We can help with that.
Yeah, you talk about soft skills. Soft skills are now essential skills. Things like you said, like empathy. You know, somebody may be out there thinking, really, I'm going to take a college course on empathy? Well, I promise you, if you take a course on working to develop your empathy, regardless of the sector you're in, you're going to improve your marketability, your chances at getting that promotion. It's helping you better interact with others. That is so important. Thank you so much for providing classes like that. So I mentioned that the COC fall semester started a couple of weeks ago. So did folks miss the boat on this semester, or when are your classes offered?
Thank you for asking. That's a really important question, because the answer is no, you have not missed the boat.
Good.
If you go online and take a look at our personal professional learning website, you'll see that we have a lot of rolling start dates. We'll have classes starting in October, and because many of these classes, not just many, most of the classes are in 8-hour formats, and maybe some slightly longer than that. You know, we have the option to be able to add classes if there's a demand. You know, if a wait list a class fills that started back in August, and all of a sudden we have 10 people on the wait list, we will literally start a section. We'll call the students and say, hey, we'll start another class for you in 4 weeks. So, you know, even if a class is closed or full, we encourage people to get on a wait list, and we really try to respond. But we absolutely have classes starting even as late as November. We have classes starting on November 30th that will end on December 10th. So, like I said, there's a lot of different start dates, and we don't start them all on the same week and then they all end. We really we're strategic in offering them. So if a student wasn't available, you know, this week to take a class, we have another one starting in 2 weeks. So there's a lot of options.
That's terrific. I remember being in college and getting on the wait list for a class, and you know, if you didn't get in that class that first week, you were out of luck, because even if you did get in a little bit later, you're now 2, 3, 4 weeks behind. But not the case here. You get on a wait list, and 2, 3 weeks down the road, you may start day one of a course. That's fantastic. So, you know, we mentioned, you know, distance learning and how most of the classes at COC are off campus. So where are these classes being held? Well, let's do it this way. Where are these classes normally held, and then where are they being held now?
Well, normally we offer in non-pandemic times,
right.
We offer classes on ground at the Valencia campus, at the Canyon Country campus, and then we also go out into the community. We've held classes at the community center in Newhall, at the Castaic Library. You know, the whole purpose of these classes is to meet students where they're at, that they're not prepared or don't want to go directly into credit classes or even ever go into them, but they still need and want something. So even in some senior centers and senior communities, we have classes for older adults. geared specifically for them. But for now, we're online, and we're offering classes in two different formats. We call them 100% online, where you log into this online environment called Canvas, and you go at your own pace. You get instructor feedback. It is instructor led with prompts, but you're not meeting with the class, everyone at the same time. But then we have classes that are synchronous, and think about synchronizing your watch with somebody else, that you're doing something at the exact same time. So the synchronous classes are also online, but it's typically through an environment called Zoom, and you'll have the entire class. Think of the Brady Bunch, and you have these images up on the computer where you have the entire classroom and the faculty, your instructor, who would likely mute everybody to start and introduce themselves and do their lecture, but then everybody has an opportunity to engage. They have breakout rooms online that you can chat with, people in your class, and that is your when you see it in the schedule where it says that there are meeting times, it's not meeting on ground, they're meeting online at a very specific designated day and time. So we offer both formats. Typically the language classes are offered in that format because it's difficult to do a language 100% online and self-led.
Sure.
So those are our options for now.
That is terrific. So you guys are doing synchronous and asynchronous learning. And
correct.
Gina, don't you wish you had invested in Zoom 6 months ago?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? That and Canvas. Who knew?
Right. So we talked about it a little bit earlier, but I want to be clear who's qualified. What do students need in order to take these classes online?
Well, in order to take classes online, you would apply through the personal professional website, the School of PPL, and I can give you that URL now. It's www.canyons, as in College of the Canyons, .edu/free classes. That's where you go to literally find the application and apply. And then if you need help, which some people get a little frustrated with websites and, kind of navigating that process, you can email. Even though we're not on campus to help you, I guarantee you we have customer service staff on the other end of our email that is ready Monday through Friday to help you, and that's free classes at canyons.edu. Again, that is free classes at canyons.edu. Monday through Friday, we have somebody there from 9 to 5 that will help you and respond to your emails, and then they will likely pick up the phone and make arrangements to call you so that you can speak directly. We try to make it easy. We try to be as helpful as we can. We understand it's very frustrating for people to try and really navigate really any websites, particularly when if you're not fluent, computer literacy. But they will walk you through the application process. They will get online with you and go step by step.
Wow, that's great. So they'll walk you through it, and you get enrolled. I'm assuming, with classes being online, folks obviously have to have internet connection. They've got to have a home computer and be able to navigate that. But other than those basics, you mentioned a high school diploma. So I either have to have a high school diploma or be 18.
Correct.
Okay.
And I just want to be real clear. If you're 18 years old or 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, any age. If you do not have a diploma, you can still attend these classes. And in general, at the California Community College system, even our credit classes, if you do not have a high school diploma, as long as you're 18, you can attend community colleges and go on and get your associate degree and even transfer and get a bachelor's degree. So don't let that be a barrier. But if you don't have your high school diploma and you want to do that now, we offer GED classes, and we can help you close that gap. I actually had to go back to school myself, a personal story, at 30 years old, and get my high school diploma and get my GED. I went through Golden Oak Adult School, and I moved on to get my associate and bachelor's and master's, and I'm a success story of the community college system. So I would encourage anyone that, you want to improve your outlook on life, this is a good place to start.
Absolutely. That is fantastic. And like we said, you've got something for everyone. If like you said, if you never got your high school diploma, you can get one. If you've got one but looking to open the door to a new career, whether you're making a career change or you're looking to launch your professional life, then this is a perfect place to start. And gosh, I think people would find it hard to beat the price, right?
Right. You can't get any better than free.
It doesn't get any better than free. Gina, you are providing just a tremendous service to the community here. You said it is the best kept secret. We got to make sure that it's not a secret anymore. Got to get the word out.
That's right.
A lot's changed lately. A lot of folks have had to pivot or even start all over again. Gina, the programs that you're providing at COC's School of Personal and Professional Learning are helping people make the changes they need to make and grow their skill set so that they can get back into the game or just make themselves more competitive. And you guys do it for free. This is amazing. What an incredible service to the community. Gina, thank you so much. Thank you for what you're doing at COC.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
It is my pleasure, Gina. You be well.
You too. Take care. God bless.
Bye-bye. We're going to take another quick commercial break, but stick around. We will be right back. This is SCVI Charter Schools Eye on the Valley. Homeschooling Answers. No, it's not Homeschooling Answers. That was back in the spring. This is just Eye on the Valley. I am Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
This is even better than I expected.
Your hometown station.
I know I can treat you better. Yeah, I want you, baby, so why don't you just meet me in the middle?
Now FM 98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Another job well done.
Hi, I'm Eric Goldhurst, Head of Operations for Burger King North America. Throughout this time, we've taken steps to take care of our guests.
And since we know many of your jobs have been affected by this crisis,
we want to help make sure you're taken care of too.
If you are looking for work, we are hiring.
And there's a spot on our team for you.
We know that we'll get through this together, as long as we keep taking care of each other.
For more information, call 253-3283. That's 253-3283.
Hi, this is Bob Schertz with the Way Out Recovery SCV, reminding you that during these unprecedented times, addiction and mental health do not take a break. If you or someone you love are struggling, please give us a call at 661-296-4444. We are open and here to help you during this time. Thanks.
I promise I'll get help. It wasn't my intention. I'm sorry to myself.
The coronavirus has put us in a position of creating a new normal. Family Law at Home understands. Their goal is to meet you in the safest place possible. And these days, that might be in your own home in a virtual meeting. Family Law at Home will provide you with immediate advice on your family law matters, such as divorce cases, child custody disputes, and domestic violence. It's as easy as going to FamilyLawAtHome.com. You'll choose your own consultation date and be in immediate contact with one of their esteemed attorneys. Family Law at Home handles the legal aspect while you and your family navigate the new chapter in your lives. Go to FamilyLawAtHome.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. I am Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVI Charter Schools Eye on the Valley. And man, producer Sarah is just cranking it out this morning. We talked about, boy, don't you wish you even invested in Zoom 6 months ago. And Sarah jumped on the Google and listen to this. Back in January of 2020, Zoom stock was at $76.30. Very respectable, very, very strong. September 1st of this year, it had jumped to $450. Man, oh man, where was I back in January? Alrighty, as I mentioned at the top of the show, today is September 11th, the anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, and I was reflecting on it this morning as I was getting ready and on my way on into the studio. My son was not yet alive. He had not been born when the attacks took place, but now he's a freshman in college today. It's only been 19 years. So what about you? Do you remember? Where were you when it happened? Where were you when you heard? Do you remember? I do. I said my son was not alive, but his older sister was a baby, and her mother was staying at home to take care of her. And so during those days, I was doing what a lot of folks do when their families are staying at home. I was getting up real early. I was working down in North Hollywood at the time and had to be there at 8 a.m. And so about 6 o'clock, I'm up getting ready, and of course I don't have the radio on, don't have the TV on, because I want to let folks around the house sleep. Those are back in the days, you get ready for work almost in the dark. And so it wasn't until I got in the car and started driving to work that I started hearing something off. Back in those days, I was a Mark and Brian listener, and Mark and Brian, I noticed a couple of minutes into my drive, were not up to their normal silliness and goofing off, and they were being very somber, and I just remember Brian saying, wow, it's just so surreal. I just have known the New York skyline with both of those towers, and now one of them's just gone. And it was maybe 5 minutes into my drive at this point when I kind of, I don't know why, but you pump the brakes a little bit and turn up the volume on the radio and wait, what is he talking about? And they're continuing to recount, and now I'm switching over to the news stations, and the story is starting to play out now in my consciousness. And I remember about halfway to work, I just had to pull over, and I broke down and wept because I realized what was happening in our country. As I mentioned at the top of the hour, these attacks on 9/11, September 11th, 2001, were the deadliest terrorist attacks in the history of the world. The most devastating foreign attack on U.S. soil since the attack on Pearl Harbor back on December 7th, 1941. 2,977 people were killed that day. If we were to hold just 1 second of silence to commemorate every victim, if we were to do that right now, we would have nearly an hour of dead air. 1 second per victim would be nearly an hour of silence. And beyond those nearly 3,000 victims that were killed, 3,051 children lost a parent that day. 3,051. Most of the people who died that day were civilians, but there were 343 firefighters, 71 law enforcement officers who died in the World Trade Center and on the ground in New York City, and another law enforcement officer who died when United Airlines Flight 93 crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. And then another 53 military personnel who died at the Pentagon in Virginia. 9/11 was not the first terrorist attack on the World Trade Center, many of you will recall. A bombing in February of 1993 killed 6 people, and the intention was to bring down one of the towers. And the guy that was arrested and convicted for perpetrating that attack said, if I'd only had more money, I'd have taken it down. On any given workday, when those 2 towers stood, up to 50,000 employees worked in the World Trade Center's Twin Towers, and an additional 40,000 passed through the complex. So 90,000 people moving through those towers on any given day. So think about it. I know one life is too many, but the fact that less than 3,000 people perished is a testament to the incredible work of the first responders. After the September 11 attacks on the World Trade Center, the rescue and recovery and cleanup efforts took 9 months. Passengers aboard United Flight 93 had heard about the previous airplane attacks at the Pentagon and the Twin Towers. So, recognizing what was going on their flight, they attempted to retake control from the hijackers, and as a result, the hijackers deliberately crashed the plane into a field in Pennsylvania instead of their unknown target. God only knows the number of lives that were saved that day by the passengers' selfless actions. And after the dust had literally settled, still 18 people were rescued alive from the 1.8 million tons of rubble of the World Trade Center site. Citizens from 115 different nations were killed that day. Following the attacks, Mayor Rudolph Giuliani attended 200 different funerals for victims of the attacks. As a result of the attacks on September 11th, over 146,000 jobs were lost. The estimated cost of the cleanup is said to have exceeded $600 million just to clean up. $600 million, not to rebuild, just to clean up. However, do you remember the fundraising efforts? Do you remember how our country and really the rest of the world stepped up? The estimated amount of money donated to 9/11 charities in the months that followed exceeded $1.4 billion. And it's estimated that nearly 500,000 New Yorkers suffered PTSD following the attacks. Do you remember that day? Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget what happened. Don't ever forget the victims. Don't ever forget their families. Don't ever forget the heroes who, as they were crumbling, ran into those buildings instead of out. Don't ever forget. And if you've got children like mine who don't have personal memory of it, teach them. Teach them so that they never forget, so that we as a country never forget. Teach them how we pulled together to get through what we thought we just couldn't manage to get through. Just like we're going to get through everything that we're dealing with now. I remember back in 2001, just sitting on the couch watching news reports with my mouth agape, thinking, we've never experienced anything like this. How are we going to get through? But we got through because we pulled together, and without or running the risk of maybe waving the flag a bit much, we got through because we're Americans, and that's what we do. And we're going to get through this too. This pandemic and the ensuing economic crisis that it's dealt us, it has been a struggle for so many. And many of you that are listening to me right now have been through things that I couldn't imagine, with lost jobs, lost lives, health, just complete and radical changes in your lifestyle and how you go about doing things. Some of you will never be the same, just like our country will never be the same after what happened 19 years ago today. But just like we got through it then, we can pull together and get through everything that we're dealing with now. So I want you to make sure that you guys are staying safe and taking care of each other. We've got to do our best to take care of each other. And speaking of which, and to lighten the mood just a little bit, it's great to see part of that, pulling together and taking care of each other has been happening since, maybe a day or two, a week or two after the first major outbreak of this pandemic. Folks who found themselves without jobs, without a way of sustaining themselves, have been taken care of by various different organizations. And I'm really excited to say that a recent announcement from the USDA has made sure that our schools are going to be able to provide free meals. So those of you that are still struggling out there to make ends meet, I want to let you know that at SCVI Charter School and all of our iLead schools, we are restarting that summer seamless program of free meals to everyone. That's starting back up next Monday, September 14th. We're going to be providing meals to all children up to 18 years of age at no charge. You don't need to be enrolled in our schools. You just pull up between 9 and 11 a.m., and there you're going to receive breakfast and lunch, 2 meals, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. at SCVI right over here on the west side of town, right off of Newhall Ranch Road. And I'll give you a little bit more information on that a little bit later on in the show if you're interested. So do stick around. Like I said, stay safe, take care of each other. We will be back in just a minute. I'm Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVI Charter Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.
Great news! Men Cryotherapy is reopening. As always, they continue to clean and sanitize all equipment. Social distancing will be enforced and hand sanitizer will be provided throughout the facility. Temperature checks will be done daily on each employee, and masks will be provided if forgotten. They have amazing welcome back specials, including the $99 performance package, which includes a cryo session, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, which boosts recovery of damaged cells, the aromatherapy oxygen bar, Nucom, and infrared sauna. There's also a beauty package with a cryofacial, infrared sauna, and more. And don't forget their extensive selection of health and wellness products, including CBD. Men Cryotherapy is open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, go to MEND, M-E-N-D, cryotherapy.com. MEND Cryotherapy on Newhall Ranch Road in the Gateway Shopping Center.
Hi, I'm Eric Goldhurst, Head of Operations for Burger King North America. Throughout this time, we've taken steps to take care of our guests.
And since we know many of your jobs have been affected by this crisis,
we want to help make sure you're taken care of too.
If you are looking for work, we are hiring.
And there's a spot on our team for you.
We know that we'll get through this together, as long as we keep taking care of each other.
For more information, call 253-3283. That's 253-3283.
Welcome to Dunkin'. There are 2 Dunkin' locations in the SCV. Both locations have outdoor seating, carry-out service, and delivery with Postmates, Grubhub, and Uber Eats. Use the Dunkin' app to order and accumulate points. The Canyon Country location on Sierra Highway near Via Princesa has drive-through service and is open till 7 p.m. The Bouquet Canyon location just off Newhall Ranch Road has curbside service and is now open till 7 p.m. The Santa Clarita Valley runs on Dunkin'. KHTS strives to give the Santa Clarita Valley all the information they need. And when our computers aren't working the way they should, we call Resurgence, your true source for IT. Resurgence provides outstanding customer service while also providing the highest technical ability. They strive to do what's best to improve and protect your business. For more information on Resurgence, call 349-4114 or visit resurgenceit.com.
KHTS AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 9 o'clock. Time for national news on KHTS.
On this day, the nation remembers to never forget. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Tributes to the heroism and patriotism on 9/11 after terrorists attacked, killing nearly 3,000 people by crashing planes into New York's Twin Towers and the Pentagon, with a 4th plane headed to the nation's capital.
The only thing that stood between the enemy and a deadly strike at the heart of American democracy was the courage and resolve of 40 men and women, the amazing passengers and crew of Flight 93.
President Trump speaking at the annual ceremony in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where that plane crashed in a field. A socially distant ceremony held today at the Pentagon.
Defense Secretary Mark Esper spoke at the crash site, marked by an unfurled American flag, with a message to those who lost loved ones.
No words can ever soothe your grief. No act will ever replace your loss. No remembrance will ever fill that void.
A moment of silence was held, followed by taps. 184 people were killed when the hijacked American Airlines Flight 77 slammed into the Pentagon 19 years ago today. Rachel Sutherland, Fox News.
Vice President Mike Pence paying respects at 2 ceremonies in New York. Joe Biden also attending the event at Ground Zero. A Navy fighter jet had been scheduled to fly over New York City later today. That's now been canceled. The plan prompted a backlash on social media, critics condemning it as tasteless and tone deaf, given the fact that the attacks involved low-flying aircraft over the harbor. A judge in Georgia just ruling that abolishing a police force would be up to local officials, rejecting the push for a referendum over the police handling of a black jogger's murder. America is listening to Fox News.
So who is your wireless provider? AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile? The average person is saving $400 a year by switching to Pure Talk USA. Pure Talk is on the same network, same towers, just 50% off in terms of price. Right now, get unlimited talk, text, and 2 gigs of data for just $20 a month. Switch to Pure Talk today. Now, from your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Pure Radio. That's pound 250, Pure Radio. Pure Talk USA, simply smarter wireless.
Do business more powerfully during Dell's semi-annual sale. Save up to 45% on Dell computers and servers with Intel Core processors. It's time for you to upgrade to new modern devices with Windows 10. Also, save on electronics and accessories, plus free shipping on everything and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call 877-ASK-DELL to talk to a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find just the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/business deals.
Several Houston officers are fired by the police chief over the deadly shooting of a man in the midst of a mental health crisis 5 months ago.
4 Houston PD officers at the scene when Nicholas Chavez was shot and killed last April have been fired. Their union calls their firing unfair, that they were dealing with an unstable person who resisted the officers' other attempts to subdue him.
15 minutes. They used every non-lethal option available.
Union President Joe Grimaldi says after many uses of beanbag rounds and tasers, the officers fired when Chavez pointed a taser at them. Police Chief Art Acevedo says they hit Chavez 21 times.
It's objectively not reasonable to utilize deadly force when a man's already been shot multiple times.
Eben Brown, Fox News.
A black man set to stand trial for murder next week in Maine loses his bid not to wear a mask in court, arguing it could prejudice the jury against him. The judge says everyone in court is wearing masks and jurors will understand. COVID cancellations are having a wide-ranging impact on the sports program at one university.
America's best high school tennis players will not be looking to their futures at the University of Minnesota. Same for our top young male gymnasts and track stars. The University of Minnesota announced that after the 2020-21 seasons, it will do without its men's indoor and outdoor track and field teams, along with men's tennis and men's gymnastics, in large part because of lost revenue from the Golden Gophers' 2020 football season getting squashed by COVID-19. The University of Minnesota's athletic director, Mark Coyle, said the school is projected to lose $75 million. Without this fall sports season, 58 student athletes and coaches will be affected between men's gymnastics, track, and tennis. Should these students choose to remain at Minnesota, their scholarships will be honored. Jared Max, Fox News.
A partial rebound on Wall Street. The Dow's up 194 points, but the NASDAQ turning lower. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
More people have been buying used cars and are paying more for them. Reuters says one reason consumer prices rose 0.4% in August, a solid increase, is because of used car sales. Prices for used cars rose about 5%. However, even with the increases, inflation is up just 1.3% over the past year. Kroger saw another sales bump in the summer quarter as people continue mostly cooking and eating at home. Its overall sales rose more than 14.5% from a year ago. Online sales jumped 127% in the period. Kroger is seeing sales moderate, though, from stockpiling months ago. Wayfair is getting ready to launch a credit card with Citigroup. The Wayfair credit card and Citi MasterCard will give customers 5% back. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
I'm David Scranton. Do you know how to convert your retirement savings into steady income? Start by calling the Retirement Income Store today.
Call 866-976-9518. That's 866-976-9518.
The Retirement Income Store, where retirees go for income.
Online at theretirementincomeStore.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Sound Income Strategies, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisory firm.
Thanks for listening to KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com. Located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
Welcome to Duncan. There are 2 Duncan locations in the SCV. Both locations have outdoor seating, carry-out service, and delivery with Postmates, Grubhub, and Uber Eats. Use the Duncan app to order and accumulate points. The Canyon Country location on Sierra Highway near Via Princesa has drive-through service and is open till 7 p.m. The Bouquet Canyon location just off Newhall Ranch Road has curbside service and is now open till 7 p.m. The Santa Clarita Valley runs on Duncan. Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. Mostly sunny skies are expected this afternoon with a high of 94. Overnight lows in the low 60s. More the same for the weekend with air quality in the very unhealthy range. For anything and everything Santa Clarita Valley related, go to hometownstation.com or find us on social media at KHTS Radio.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, your host, and you are listening to SCVI Charter School's Eye on the Valley. I'm super excited. My next guest is joining me here in the studio today, and, you know, with things the way they are, a lot of folks call in like Gina did last hour, and so I love it when my guests are able to come in to the studio. And my next guest is Gabby Ismail. Am I pronouncing that right, Gabby?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Gabby was born right here in Santa Clarita and has developed a real passion and talent for art. She began developing her talent at a very young age. Gabby's received several awards and recognitions for her outstanding artwork, and she recently had her artwork published as she illustrated a children's book called A Bug Needs Love. Oh, yeah. And she did all this before she even started high school. That's right. She is 13 years old?
14.
14 years old. Sorry about that. She's 14 years old and a freshman at SCVI Charter School. Gabby, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
It's good to have you. So before we get to your artwork, I want to let our listeners learn a little bit more about you. So first of all, I mentioned you were born here in Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
How long have you been at SCVI?
I've been there for 3 years now. I came in 7th grade.
Okay, so you started in 7th grade, so you did basically your junior high, and now you're moving into high school there. Fantastic. So
Yeah.
Do you like it? Are you happy there?
Oh, I love SCVI.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, everyone there is so nice and supportive. I love it.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So whose decision was it? Because you didn't start kindergarten there. You said you started in 7th grade. And so you had to make that move after 6th grade. Whose decision was that? Was that yours? Was that your parents' decision?
I was looking at other schools, like, around our area, but then I came across SCVI, and I thought it was interesting, so I looked into it, and I liked it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fantastic. So can you tell our listeners a little bit, for our listeners who don't necessarily know too much about SCVI, how is it different than the traditional local schools?
Well, they're more of a hands-on learning. Like,
okay.
They teach you, like, they go more in depth, and they really help you with the learning system.
Okay, fantastic. That's good to hear. And what do you like best about it? You seem to be really enjoying your time at SCVI.
Yeah.
What do you like best?
Well, all the teachers there are just really fun. They're really different from the normal, like normal schools like that teach like the open book. Everyone sits in the normal tables. Like they're just a lot more open and fun.
Okay, so things are a lot more free-flowing, and I will have to agree with you. I know most of the teachers at SCVI pretty well, and they are all very different from normal.
Oh,
yeah. Now, we're a project-based learning school, so the vast majority of the things that you learn through developing projects. And I know it's only been a couple years now, but what's been your favorite project so far?
Probably the aeronautics project in 8th grade. Yeah,
An aeronautics project. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What did you learn? What did you do?
Well, we learned about the glider airplanes, and we got to study about them, and eventually we got to fly in them.
Okay, so glider airplanes, you're talking about like the small little model airplanes that you throw?
Well, they're basically that, but life-size.
Okay, so for our listeners, every year our 8th graders participate in a project where they learn about aeronautics and aviation. They learn about airplane design and all kinds of really interesting single-syllable, really complex words like yaw and thrust and all the different things that go into flight. And that project culminates with, well, why don't you tell them, how do you guys finish that project?
We flew the airplane.
You flew an airplane, and not a motorized airplane, right?
No, we had to launch it up with the, oh my gosh, what is?
It's not a biplane. It's like a Cessna, a single engine airplane. You get in the cockpit of this glider. Like I said, no engine. You get in the cockpit with a certified pilot behind you, right? You're not flying on your own. But then you get towed up about a mile high, and there literally is like a rope connecting a regular airplane to this glider. They tow you up to a mile high, and then when you're ready, you pull that cord, you let go, and you'd literally just start gliding around there up in Llano, right off of Pear Blossom Highway. And what was that experience like for you, Gabby?
It was really scary at first getting in, but after sitting in there for a while, I started getting confident, and it was just really amazing up there.
Wow, so fun, so exciting. So, you are quite an artist. When did you first discover your passion for art?
Well, I was drawing since I was like a little kid. Yeah, like kindergarten. I don't know. My mom said I was always drawing on the walls, and yeah, I was pretty mischievous. But yeah, I've loved art all my life. Like it was, I don't know. It was just a passion of mine that.
Okay, and that's, but it's still a talent that takes developing. You've got to put in hundreds and thousands of hours to get to the level that you're at. I've seen a little bit of your work. So did you take classes? Did you go to art camps, things like that?
I did not.
Okay, so you just developed your talent on your own by practicing? Okay. All right. So what mediums do you work with? Do you draw? Do you paint? You sculpt? What do you use?
All of the above.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do every medium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have a favorite?
Favorite? Probably paint.
Okay.
Like acrylics. I like acrylics, maybe gouache and watercolor.
Okay.
Really fun. I love sculpting and just making a bunch of stuff. It's fun.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so I see you brought it with you this morning. Tell us about this book that you published. You are the illustrator on A Bug Needs Love. How did this come about? How is it that before you even start high school, you're the illustrator for a children's book?
Well, at school there is a contest for how to illustrate, or the winner would illustrate well, first off, it was to illustrate the cover of the book, and whoever is the winner gets to do all 13 pages. And then I won, and then I got to do the rest of the book.
Okay, so you submitted a proposal, like a proposed piece of work for the cover.
Yeah.
And then if yours is chosen, then you do the rest of the pages.
Yeah, and I did the front cover in one night. And it was the night before it was due.
How very teenage of you.
Yeah.
Wow, that is incredible. So the cover I'm looking at right now, you developed overnight.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you that are on Facebook Live, I know a lot of you do not just listen. Yeah, there they are. You you watch in on Facebook Live. For those of you that didn't realize, we are on Facebook. If you go to KHTS's webpage, we've got a salmon color background there, and you can watch. Gabby, can you, I don't know if they can see it, but can you maybe just point the cover up at the camera there, and you can take a look at Gabby's artwork. You're really, really talented. That is amazing. So what's the book about?
Well, the book, it's about, there's a character named Jack, and then a character named Grumpy. And Grumpy is real cold-hearted, and he's discouraged because he can't get his light to shine. Or he can't light up. And he's real cold and mean to everyone, and like, oh my gosh. Page 2. No, this one. Like, he's just real cold-hearted to everyone.
And this is all your artwork. You did this in paint?
Yeah, all paint.
Okay, is this watercolors or acrylic?
A little bit of both.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mixed it together. But, and then Jack, later in the story, he wants to help him find that light. And the meaning behind the book is teaching children about how to love and support each other and how to encourage each other to find hope. And it's just a really cute story. And he ends up finding his light in the end. It's super cute.
That is a beautiful story. Now, I noticed as you were flipping through there, it's actually written in 2 different languages. It's written in English and Spanish.
English and Spanish, yes.
That is fantastic. Wow, that's a beautiful thing. So, what was the process like? You said your submission you did overnight. And so then when you were chosen to illustrate the rest of the book, you said 13 pages, did you just spend 13 days, crank out 13 more paintings?
Pretty much, yeah.
See, folks, it is so easy. I don't know why the rest of you aren't publishing your stuff, because, Gabby, you're making people look bad. Okay, now you're in high school over at SCVI there.
Yeah.
You know, Miss Senna's been working on a book for the better part of a decade now. So you're not helping her ego at all to, let people know that, a couple weeks you crank this out. No problem. Okay, so did you have to submit them? Did you get,
Yes, I did.
Okay, and they would give you feedback. Did you have to change anything, or they thought they were perfect the way they were?
No, they thought they were perfect.
You've got to be kidding. That is amazing.
And I didn't have to do, drafts or anything, because normally you had to, plan out how the scene would look like. I just went with the first thing that came to my mind.
Wow. Okay, so you didn't draw them, you didn't sketch them out first?
No, I did, but it was the first sketch I went with.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So with each different page, you sketched it out, and then you just transferred that sketch into to acrylic and watercolor, and that's see, guys, it's easy. It's easy. You just put the brush on the canvas, and I'm obviously speaking tongue in cheek, Gabby. You know how uncommon this is, right? Okay. All right. So. So as you're going through this process, right, I'm sure you were excited when you found out that you won this contest, you were chosen, and then you're going through and now you're developing the paintings and you've submitted them. Okay, they love them. The book's coming out in 6 months, 2 months, 2 weeks. What are you thinking? What are you feeling as all this is going on?
I mean, it's crazy just having that feeling of moving forward, getting to a goal or a goal set mindset. I don't know, it was just really exciting.
I can't even imagine. And now you're sitting here today, you're 14 years old, you've already accomplished something that people worked decades to try to achieve. So, gosh, now, and I noticed this book has been pretty successful. It was published for the first time just a little over a year ago.
Yes.
Am I correct? Okay, back in July of 2019. It's been so successful, it's already in its 2nd edition. Right? Yeah, that is incredible. Now, it's amazing that you've gotten your artwork out there and you've already gotten work published. But I know folks from my generation, the thing that they're focusing on, I know, and I'm sure that was the first thing that your mom thought of, are you getting paid for this? No. Okay. You're getting paid on the experience and the exposure and things like that. This was a contest that you won. Okay, but next time you got to make sure that that's in your contract. All right. Wow, this is fantastic, Gabby. So exciting, and your artwork is incredible. Do me a favor as I head out to commercial. Would you just hold it up to the camera there and show people real quickly? We're talking with 14-year-old artist and illustrator Gabby Ismail. We've got to take care of a little bit of business, but we're going to continue with Gabby when we get back. You're listening to SCVI Charter School's Eye on the Valley. I am Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
You see so much when you look at your child. A creative spirit that surprises you every day. Curiosity that develops into exploring unique passions. A little leader growing every day to discover who they are, what they love, and how they can make their mark on the world. At SCVI, we see those same amazing things. Our tuition-free K-12 charter school gives your child boundless opportunities to think critically and imagine freely, with a customized learning program built around each individual student. As iLead's founding school, SCVI combines an immersive approach to traditional subject learning with extracurricular activities, including STEAM, robotics, theater, music, and sports. SCVI has the only international baccalaureate program in Santa Clarita, with a 10-year proven track record of graduates excelling at top universities. And we're in your backyard, just off the 5 freeway in West Santa Clarita Valley in Castaic. For enrollment information or to learn more about our program, including homeschool options, visit iLeadSantaClarita.org. iLead Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
Moms, dads, this is Cardin Ellis, owner of Unipest. If your house has ants, spiders, or gophers, or you want a free orange oil termite inspection, you have to call Unipest Termite and Pest Control, Santa Clarita's only factory-certified orange oil pest control company. We specialize in organic, low-impact, and traditional pest control options that are all kid-friendly, pet-friendly, and affordable with no contracts, and we're SCV-owned and operated. Call us at 661-BUG-7575 or visit unipest.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS, or call 800-973-3927 and use the promo code KHTS. That's 800-973-3927 or mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is SCVI Charter School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. And before we continue, I just want to say good morning to Ms. Moon and her stormtroopers. I know that that your advisory class is listening in right now, Gabby. We're here this morning with Gabby Ismail. She is an artist, a children's book illustrator, and a freshman at SCVI Charter School. So, Gabby, speaking of school, things are a little bit different this year. You're not on campus. You're doing that distance learning thing. You're shouting at your friends to unmute their microphone and stop the dog from barking and things like that, like the rest of us around the world are doing. So how's distance learning going for you?
It's actually doing a lot better than how it would normally. Yeah.
Really?
Because I feel like being home in like more of a enclosed area without any distractions, it's really helping me focus on my work, and I'm getting a lot of more things done.
Really? Mm-hmm. That is great to hear, because I have to tell you, 99% of the people that I ask that, they say, oh, you know, it is what it is, can't wait to get back. But you're actually doing better. You're able to focus a little bit better. Okay.
I mean, I'd love to go back, but
sure.
it is better for me to focus at home.
Okay, you miss your friends, the social aspect of school, things like that. Okay, so that begs the question then, when we are allowed to go back on campus, you know, you do have the option to go full-time homeschool. Would you do that, or are you going back on campus when we can?
I'm probably going to go back on campus.
Okay, cool. So, do you take art classes at SCVI? I know they've got some phenomenal art classes out there.
I did in 8th grade with Mr. Johnson. I love you, Mr. Johnson.
But, we all love you, Mr. Johnson.
We all love you.
But you're not taking art classes this semester?
I'm taking theater.
Oh, so you're taking a different art form.
Yeah, I'm trying something new.
Okay, so why is it that you decided to step into theater rather than, like I said, I know Ms. Abrahamian, she's doing some great stuff in the art studio, but you wanted to take theater. Did you want to develop a different side of your artistic background?
I mean, yeah, I really like acting. Acting's always been something interesting to me since I was little. But I've never actually had like classes or anything like that, so I just wanted to experience it or try it. Yeah, and Kevin is so nice.
Oh, Kevin Becker is incredible. He's you're right. He's very, very nice, extremely talented.
Love you, Kevin.
Gabby, you just love everybody, don't you?
I do.
The folks at SCVI are easy to love, but yeah, Kevin Becker's got a great experience, great background for the theater, and so how's that going to work if you guys are doing distance learning? Are you guys going to do like Zoom productions and things like that, or have you talked about it yet? Okay, so it's first semester. You're probably going over the basics of acting and things like that.
Yeah, we're talking about it, but we haven't really gone into anything related to like getting up and doing anything relating acting.
Okay, sounds good. Now, getting back to your artwork, you know, I have always been, I guess, a fan of the arts, a patron of the arts, but I was never able to really develop much artistic talent myself. But, you know, both of my kids did. I've spoken about my son and my daughter quite a bit this morning, actually. They're probably a lot better at their art because they're much more patient and persistent than I am, I guess. But they do each have a definite style. For example, my daughter is actually, she's working as an intern to develop a career in the arts. And her style, she's really into mandala and mandala styled flower drawing and painting. In fact, she just did a set of wine glasses for me with flowers and mandala all over them. They're beautiful. Do you have a specific style?
Not really. I have a lot of styles.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it's very widespread with like a bunch. I have like normal painting. I have like realistic, cartoon, pencil, everything.
Okay, so now obviously the book that you did was pretty much like commissioned, right?
Yes.
You had to develop something that appealed to small children, obviously,
Yes.
and you've got to match the story that's being written. But when you're not working under commission and you just sit down to develop a new piece, where do you get your inspiration from? What just from your head, huh? Okay. And so is there anything that you use to kind of get you in the mood to do something, or is it just whatever strikes you? Music.
Always music.
Okay, so you always play music when you're creating. Okay. And is it so do you put on a different type of music to develop a different vibe, or is it just you play your playlist and
My playlist.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you listen to when you're creating?
Well, I listen to like old punk, like the Circle Jerks or Black Flag or that kind of stuff.
Get out.
Yeah.
Oh, you are an 80s punk fan. Oh, I love it. Oh, no wonder you're such an amazing artist. You're getting some phenomenal inspiration.
I was listening to Sex Pistols coming to here.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, Sid and Nancy, gone too early. Way too early, but no, don't follow their example. So, wow, that is really cool to hear. Okay, so I understand that, so you've done a children's book, and you talk about how your style is rather eclectic. You're eclectic. You're doing a wide variety of stuff, and you talk about variety. It doesn't get more different than what you've done for A Bug Needs Love than the work that you're doing for this skateboard and clothing line.
Yeah.
So what is this about? Can you tell us about the design that you're doing for this skateboard company?
Okay, so this is Thrash and Raid.
Thrash and Raid.
Thrash and Raid.
And I looked it up. It's not Thrash and Raid.
No, it's Thrash N. So it's N.
Thrash Raid. So Thrash, like you would do on a skateboard, N.
And Raid.
Raid. Okay. All right. So that's the company that you're working for.
Yes.
And what do you do for them?
So I design the skateboards, and I design, well, right now we're doing some more t-shirts, and mainly we just do t-shirts and skateboard decks.
Okay.
But we're thinking on doing stickers, maybe pins, not sure yet, but we're working on some new designs.
Okay. And you know, I'd like to do my research for the show before I come in. Is this something you recognize?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, if you're on Facebook Live, this is Gabby's work here for Thrash and Raid. As you'll notice, it's a little bit different than the work that she's done for A Bug Needs Love. So, Gabby, can you tell us a little bit about this piece that we're looking at here?
Okay. Well, it's heavily inspired by punk.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, we got definitely a skate punk here.
Yeah. And the skateboard in the photo is a drawing of the skateboard I designed.
Okay, so I saw a picture of that skateboard on Thrash and Raid's Facebook page. You designed that?
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue talking about the drawing. We'll come back to the skateboard. Okay.
I just really like old like pencil drawings from like the 90s, like that old punk style. I just think it's so cool.
Yeah, and I mean, like I'm starting to zoom in and I'm trying to pick out some of the patches on this character's
there's the Misfits
jeans. Yeah, I see the Misfits.
Anarchy
symbol. Yeah, and it looks like he's got a cup from In and Out.
In and Out. We love In and Out.
Okay, so you've definitely got an In and Out vibe here on the skateboard. So tell me about that.
Well, the company is owned by my brother, my older brher.
Oh, Thrash and Raid is owned by your brother? Okay.
Yeah. I work with him.
Oh,
and
cool.
we love In and Out. It's the best. It's the best.
All right. Cool. And do the folks at In and Out have a problem with you guys designing skateboards around their brand? Or?
I'm not sure, but probably not.
I would think that they would be flattered. It's amazing work, and you know, it certainly would probably fall in the vein of parody if they get too uppity about it. But what an amazing piece of work! Like I said, juxtaposed against the book that you've got here, you can see the great variety of style. Now, I've mentioned that we're on Facebook Live, and we've also got folks commenting on here. You know, one of our listeners is just shocked that you're in high school, 14 years old, saying that you're amazing, and somebody replied and said, yes, she was just 13 when she did the book. She's an amazing young lady. I can't wait to see her working for Disney. That was shared by listener Jeffrey Woods.
Oh.
Do you know Jeffrey?
Yes, I do.
Who's Jeffrey?
This man right here.
This man right here.
Dr. Woods.
Okay, so Dr. Woods, he's the author of the book. He's the one that set up the contest and then essentially commissioned you to...
He wrote the book.
Wow. Okay. So,
He's a very kind man.
Love
you, Jeffrey.
Yeah, and he's obviously very talented in his own right. What a beautiful story he's written. So gosh, Dr. Woods, thank you for giving Gabby such an amazing opportunity, and thank you for giving our kids such an incredible book. It's a beautiful book. So let's see. We've seen a couple of examples of your work. Are there any other projects that you're currently working on?
Well, other than Thrash and Raid, I'm doing a painting for my aunt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's not a surprise, is it?
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's a realistic photo, but also abstract. If that makes sense. It's like an abstract realistic.
Okay. Explain a little bit more.
So
can you?
It's almost like an oil painting. So I'm using palette knives or just like normal brush strokes, but it's not being like blended or anything. It's just all like added on chunky parts of paint.
Oh.
And it's a beautiful scene of these trees by a lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it taken from like a photograph or something that you've seen?
It's
or
a replica of another painting that my aunt wanted me to do.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And so do you have family members kind of commissioning
all the
work
time.
on it? Yeah.
kind of haven't done like 20 of them, and it's been a few years now, but it's okay.
Okay, cool. So you're 14. You're already a wildly successful artist. You've got people banging down your door for your your artwork, and you're doing so in, like I said, all these different veins. You're a designer, an illustrator. So I realize you've got 4 years of high school that you're working through. But do you have any plans for the future? Anything that you plan on doing? Either during high school or after high school? Where are you going from where you're at now?
Okay, well, from now, I'm thinking of taking like college level art classes, possibly. I don't know. We'll look into it, but I definitely want to go to Cal Arts when I leave.
So you're talking about maybe taking some concurrent enrollment courses while you're at SCVI, maybe enrolling in some art classes at COC, which you can do at SCVI. You can enroll in college level courses. You get high school credit and college credit. In fact, I think you get double high school credit for it. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
You'll have to talk to Miss Nilsson about it. That is the counselor out there. She does a great job directing our kids. And so you're thinking about enrolling in some art classes at COC while you're working on your theater stuff at SCVI. And then you're hoping to go to Cal Arts after high school, huh?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so that's an incredibly prestigious school, but for that reason, very, very competitive. Okay, so you're already, I was going to say, I'm used to talking to my kids, and I say, okay, you got to make sure that you're working on your portfolio. Your portfolio is sitting here with a copyright stamp on it, on the counter here. But yeah, so you're getting ready, you're gearing up to probably head toward Cal Arts, and then any plans beyond that, or are you just going to see where it goes? Yes, we're definite about that.
I would love to work at Disney Animation Studios.
Oh, Disney Animation Studios. I don't know that you could have picked a better place to work and develop your career. Have you ever been there?
I got a tour there with Mr. Herb Moore.
You're kidding me. How did that happen?
This man.
Oh, so Dr. Woods, the author of the book, A Bug Needs Love, arranged for you to take a tour of Disney Animation Studios?
Yeah, it was a private tour with Herb Moore.
Okay.
And we went around the studio. We got to see everything, how everything works. It was just really cool. Wow,
that is amazing. You know, I've got a couple of friends that work down at the Disney Studios in different areas, mostly in technology based. In fact, I don't know if you know, one of your classmates, I don't know if, let's see, I think he might be a year or two ahead of you, but his father works at Disney Animation Studios, worked on movies like was Entangled, the Rapunzel movie? Tangled, boom. And Big Hero 6, things like that.
Oh, wow.
And because, a lot of that animation was done digitally.
Yeah.
And so you'll have to talk to Ben and see if maybe you can chat with his dad. His dad's kind of a big deal out there at Disney. Okay, so we've seen a couple of samples of the work you've done on the book. We've seen what you've done with your brother and the skateboard that you designed and this. So let's go back to this this Thrash and Raid drawing. Is this done with pencil?
Yes,
okay.
Purely with pencil.
Wow. Okay, so one more time for our viewers on Facebook Live. You did that with pencil. Is that a design for a T-shirt or?
We haven't made anything yet.
Okay.
But we're doing more. Right now we're working on some designs for the fall. Okay. Like Halloween, we're gonna do like zombies, maybe some vampires or something like that. It's gonna be cool.
Okay, very cool. So I'm sure our listeners are gonna want to see how that develops. Is there somewhere where folks can go to see more samples of your work or watch as you develop?
My Instagram.
Well, yeah, your Instagram or any other social media.
Too?
Say that again.
Can they follow Thrash and Raid too?
Well, absolutely. Okay? Tell them. Okay, so yeah, they need to follow you. They need to follow Thrash and Raid to see what you and your brother are developing. So why don't you just throw them out there? Do so slow and loud so folks can remember what the handles are.
So my Instagram is GABBY_ISMAIL_100.
Okay, so Gabby _Ismail _100.
Yes.
Gabby Ismail 100 separated by underscores.
Yes.
That's Instagram.
Yes.
Okay.
And Thrash and Raid is at Thrash and Raid.
At Thrash and Raid, just all together.
I don't know if there is underscores, but if you look it up, it'll probably come up in your...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. And so have you on your Gabby _ Ismail _ 100, you've got, I'm assuming, other things that you've done, other samples, things like that, or is it more of a wait and see?
There is a lot more art on my account. Like, a lot more art.
Okay.
But it's all old art, and I'm not, like, I want to have everyone see my new one, so.
Okay, now I'm going out on a limb here. Speaking of old.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Are you on Facebook at all, or just Instagram?
Oh, just Instagram.
Okay, yeah, because Facebook we reserve for the oldie oldsters like
yes,
Patrick and I. Alrighty, she's 14. She's an artist, published illustrator, designer. She's a freshman at SCVI. She's got great things ahead of her. She's Gabby Ismail. Gabby, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you.
Wow, you are amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else you do. And I want to give one more plug. The book is A Bug Needs Love. It's written by Dr. Jeffrey Woods.
Yes.
Dr. Woods, thank you for putting Gabby on, because, I mean...
And it's at abugneedslove.com.
Okay.
So that's where it's for purchase.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So
that's where you can buy it.
You guys have got your own website, abugneedslove.com. You can purchase the book. Los libros también están disponibles en español. Hey, check me out.
Wow.
Book is bilingual, just like me, and you don't have to buy a separate book. It's English and Spanish there. It's kind of a dual immersion kind of book. So awesome. Dr. Woods, thank you so much for that. Gabby, thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break. We will be right back. You're listening to SCVI Charter Schools Eye on the Valley. I am Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
At iLead Agua Dulce, we believe the most important thing a child can learn in school is who they are. Life's real tests are never standardized, which is why we've developed an individual-based curriculum that values exploration, cooperation, and creativity. As our learners grow, so do we. Our tuition-free charter school is currently enrolling grades TK through 7th and adding 8th grade in 2020. Your young learner will be immersed in a unique environment where possibility and self-discovery are at the core of every experience. The Agua Dulce campus features beautiful indoor and outdoor spaces for hands-on inspiration, including a robotics lab, a garden bed, a greenhouse, and a technology-based exploratorium. iLead Agua Dulce is conveniently located on the east side of the Santa Clarita Valley, just off the 14 freeway. Check out our homeschool options too. To schedule a campus tour or learn more about our programs, visit ileadaguadulce.org. We're enrolling now. iLead Schools. Free to think, inspired to lead.
Join us this fall for online fun with the Canyon Theater Guild online youth workshops. Super fun classes with acting, singing, dancing, audition tips, script writing, scene study, improv, and putting on real shows created for online performance. Get creative, meet new friends, and most of all, have a blast from the comfort of your own home. Call 661-799-2702 or ctgworkshops@gmail.com or canyontheater.org.
Senator Scott Wilk is working overtime to create the jobs California needs to recover.
As principal co-author of the Aerospace Tax Credit, Scott's leadership helped bring a $65 billion aerospace contract and 6,500 new jobs to our community.
Scott helped prevent thousands of jobs in the entertainment industry from going out of state.
A former small business owner, Senator Wilk is working to help our local businesses survive.
Scott knows our economy can't recover until we stop the spread of COVID-19.
That's why he was part of a bipartisan effort to improve California's response to coronavirus and put medical supplies where needed.
Scott Wilk, putting party politics aside,
to get California healthy and working again.
Senator Scott Wilk.
He delivers.
Ad paid for by California Labor and Business Alliance, CLAB, sponsored by building trades, correctional peace officers, apartment rental organizations, and energy providers. Committee major funding from Chevron Corporation and its subsidiaries affiliates. Not authorized by a candidate or a committee controlled by a candidate.
Save water and save money. SCV Water wants to help you find your fit and take advantage of conservation rebate programs that will help you save. Water your landscape more efficiently. Replace your lawn with water-wise plants. Conduct free in-home water surveys. Cover your swimming pool and more. Find the programs that fit your needs and start saving today. Visit conserve.yourscvwater.com to learn more.
That's conserve.yourscvwater.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. I am Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVI Charter Schools Eye on the Valley. And I am here this morning with Gabby Ismail. She's an incredible artist, a published illustrator. She's a designer for a skateboard company. She's doing all kinds of incredible stuff. But I'll tell you one thing that she's not doing. Sorry, Ms. Moon, she's not going to advisory class this morning. Gabby's sticking around in the studio with me to wrap the show, and I do appreciate it. We were talking over the commercial break about, she was asking, how many people are on the Facebook Live feed and how many people are listening. And, we've got a lot of different ways that folks listen to the show, Gabby. There are folks that are at home watching on the Facebook Live feed, and like I said, you can, if you are not on the Facebook Live feed, you can always jump on and catch our show or any one of KHTS's live shows on the KHTS Facebook page, or there are folks in their car listening on the radio. There's probably 2 or 3 people out there that actually have a radio in their home and listen there. But when I'm not in studio and I'm not in the car, I listen on my Amazon Echo device, and I just tell her. And I love saying this on the air because I'm messing with people's living rooms and stuff like that. I say, Alexa, play KHTS. And right now, somebody's KHTS feed just started. So you can play her on your Alexa device, or you can download the KHTS app. People listen on their app. You can listen on your phone. So if you're out of town or doing whatever you're doing and you don't have access to a radio, or even if you do, download the KHTS app. It's on your Android or iPhone devices, your Apple or Android device. Just download that KHTS app, and you've got access to all of their live feeds. You've got access to all their news stories and all the wonderful things like that. I mentioned before that, times are tough for some folks, and we're always looking to support people and help get them through. Super excited that starting this Monday, September 14th, through December 31st, through the calendar year, SCVI and all of our iLead campuses are resuming free meals to all children, not just our students. Any children that are between the ages of birth and 18 years that need a hand and would like to stop by, pick up breakfast and lunch every single Monday through Friday, starting Monday through December 31st, we're serving those meals 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Thank you so much to the USDA. We're able to extend that summer seamless program and provide those free meals. Again, you don't need to be enrolled in our schools. Just drive up 9 to 11 years, and each child will receive a grab and go breakfast and lunch. And a lot of parents ask, do I need to bring my kids with me? I've got 5 kids, and gotta be honest, Matt, I would love a 15-minute break. Can I just swing out and tell them I've got 5 kids and pick it up? The answer is yes, you can. Children don't need to be with you. Our school sites are closed, but the meals are grab and go with minimal contact, so they keep it safe. Juana out there at SCVI does a great job getting people served and still staying safe. The meals can't be consumed on site there, but you pull up, pick up that breakfast and lunch, again, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. and families, you just park right there in front of the cafe. The address is 28060 Hasley Canyon Road. It is Suite 200, but once you pull into the driveway there, you're not going to be able to miss Juana and her team out there serving food. Like I said, 28060 Hasley Canyon Road, right there in South Castaic. What do I mean by South Castaic? It's right off of Newhall Ranch Road, right there on the west side of town. Just pull up, wait in your car, and you will be directed to enter the gate for your protection and ours. Please make sure that you wear your cloth face covering when you're picking up your meals. And as you head out there, I know if you and your children aren't already part of the SCVI family, you may want to take a tour or something like that. Unfortunately, our campus is still closed due to the local and state restrictions, but you can get more information about our schools on our websites. So let me just throw out the three most local schools. We've got, it's 10, 11 I-Lead schools now throughout Southern California and in other places as well. But the most local ones, west side of the Santa Clarita Valley, is Gabby School, SCVI. And that is, the website is ileadsantaclarita.org. And I know producer Sarah is probably dropping these websites here in the Facebook Live feed as we speak. But yeah, iLead Santa Clarita is the SCVI website, ileadsantaclarita.org. And there you can head on over and kind of take a virtual tour there and poke around and see what our learners are working on and what we're all about. Cool thing about SCVI is if you enroll your kids early enough, it is... it might be the only, I don't want to say it is, it might be the only, I know it is, let's say this, it's the only comprehensive public school in the Santa Clarita Valley, meaning you can attend our school from kindergarten through 12th grade, actually transitional kindergarten. So if you're 4.5 years old, imagine going to the same school from the time you're in kindergarten through senior and high school. And what a lot of our families like is, you've got your second grader, your seventh grader, and your ninth grader all going to the same school, and it's really cool. I used to teach fourth and fifth grade out there, and it was just really neat. You stand at the gate during dismissal, and the older brother and sister would come over from high school and pick up the little ones, and just a neat family environment over there. And so you can head on over to ileadsantaclarita.org for more information on SCVI. If you're interested in enrolling, we do have a couple of grades that are still receiving learners. We started a couple of weeks ago, still ramping up the year. If you're interested in enrolling, click on the Enroll Now button. We will have virtual tours soon, and if there aren't spots available in your child's grade level, still hit the Enroll Now button and you can get on a wait list, because a spot may open up, just like we talked about with Gina before. We work hard when we've got enough people on the wait list. We work hard to make sure that we can get kids in even though the semester's already started. So head on over to ileadsantaclarita.org and click Enroll Now. Now, some of you are thinking, gosh, the west side of town, that's a long way away. I'm over here in Canyon Country or closer to the downtown Newhall area. We're on the east side of town, and so SCVI is a little bit of a drive for us. Well, you're in luck, because over here on the east side of town, real close to where we're at right now, is iLead Agua Dulce. Matt, Agua Dulce, that is about 7 minutes from where I'm sitting in downtown Newhall right now. It's interesting. I live in the heart of Saugus, right in the center of town. And when we opened up iLead Agua Dulce, it blew my mind to discover that it's actually closer to my house in Saugus than SCVI is on the west side. So Agua Dulce is right here in our backyard on the east side of town. And they've got a beautiful campus, and Lisa and her staff are doing some amazing things at iLead Agua Dulce. Very different campus, very different feel, very different vibe than SCVI. And in fact, we did have some families when that campus opened move from SCVI to iLead Agua Dulce because that more matched what their learners need. And that's what school choice is all about, right? Making sure that your kids get the program that they need. Kind of like, Gabby, like you were saying, you needed something a little bit different. You moved over to SCVI, and now that we're on distance learning, you're finding that you're thriving with that. Well, some kids, couple hundred kids out at iLead Agua Dulce are really having a great time over there. Super easy to remember, ileadaguadulce.org. And if you and your kids are like Gabby and you're finding, hey, distance learning ain't so bad. I'm doing really well at home. I'm getting better grades. I'm able to focus. And, some of our families have said, without the social stresses and things like that of campus life, I'm really thriving. We've got a full online school. So when our campuses do open back up, if you do prefer that online format, you can enroll. We've got a fully accredited online school. Still, kindergarten through 12th grade. That's right, your kindergartner can do a full online program. So can your senior in high school. And it is super easy to remember. iLead Online. iLeadOnline.org. So you can check them out. They are WASC accredited. They've got some amazing programs. And it's not just a canned click-through online program. iLead Online, all of the courses come with a live facilitator. That's what we call our teachers. And they interact however their learners need to interact with them. They meet with some of their learners on Zoom. They talk with some of their learners on the phone, or they will text as their learners work through the online curriculum. And then each learner also gets an academic coach. And it's funny, when I was the director at the upper school at SCVI, you didn't know that, did you? About 5 years ago, I was director at SCVI, and some of the learners would tell me, they'd take a French class on iLead Online, or an art class, a photography class, and they'd say, wow, I'm getting just as much attention, if not more, in the iLead Online class than I am in my seat-based class. So don't worry about it being an impersonal click-through curriculum, because it is absolutely the opposite of that. Your kids are going to get a full measure of attention at iLead Online. So again, iLeadSantaClarita.org for SCVI, iLeadOnline.org, iLeadAguadulce.org. Click Enroll Now, and you can still get your kids in. I know we're a couple of weeks into the semester, but you can get your learners in, and we've got all different kinds of opportunities. You heard just Gabby talking this morning about how she's learning about aeronautics and flying a glider. She was given the opportunity to illustrate a children's book. Our kids are getting all kinds of opportunities, and in a real-world project-based scenario. Well, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I want to thank today's guests, Gina Bogna, Dean of the School of Personal and Professional Learning at College of the Canyons, Gabby Ismail, artist, children's book illustrator, and freshman at SCVI Charter School. And I am your host, Matt Watson. Gabby, be polite. Say goodbye to our audience.
Bye.
Join us next Friday and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m., right here on KHTS. This is SCVI Charter School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.